Conquest reaches into Mark's stomach and literally pulls his intestines out. This isn't just a bloody scene. It is described as truly vile. It is the kind of moment that makes you realize Invincible has stopped being a superhero show and has fully committed to being a war story where no one is safe. After seasons of building up the threat of the Viltrumites, we finally see what happens when Mark is pushed to the absolute limit. He is lying there, guts strewn everywhere, having just suffocated a monster to death with his bare hands. It is the most gruesome thing the show has ever done, and honestly, it changes everything for the Grayson family. Before we begin, this breakdown contains massive spoilers for Invincible Season 4 Episode 5, titled Give Us a Moment, including major character deaths and plot shifts from the comics. I am your host from Review, and today we are breaking down an episode that is already being called an instant classic. Give Us a Moment is the turning point we have been waiting for. It is the bridge between the emotional fallout of Nolan's betrayal and the sheer, unadulterated carnage of the Viltrumite War. We are seeing the return of Omni-Man to Earth, the introduction of a gender-bent tech jacket, and a rematch that leaves Mark's life hanging by a literal thread. By the end of this video, you will understand why Cecil thinks Earth is more vulnerable now than it has been in 20 years, even though the Viltrumites just left. The failed redemption of Nolan Grayson. The episode starts with Nolan, the man once known as Omni-Man, returning to Earth not as a conqueror, but as a beggar. He is looking for trust, but the world he broke isn't ready to give it. Nolan comes clean to Mark about the Viltrumite danger, swearing that the only way forward is through trust. Mark's reaction is cold. He knows there is no real choice. If the coalition of planets loses, the Viltrumites come for him anyway. But the real meat of this segment is Nolan's attempt to fix things with Debbie. He stands at her door, rehearsing an apology, only for Debbie to shut him down with a performance by Sandra Oh that is absolutely devastating. When Debbie punches Nolan in the chest, her own hand starts bleeding. It is a perfect metaphor. Trying to hurt him only breaks her further. She tells him clearly, "You killed the man I loved. If I was supposed to change you, I failed. I dress heroes." One of the most quiet but powerful moments involves Art, the man who made the suits that define the Guardians of the Globe. Nolan finds him at his shop, hoping for a moment of normalcy, maybe even a beer. They catch up, and for a second it feels like old times. But when Nolan suggests that Art dress him one more time, the line is drawn. Art looks him in the eye and says, "I dress heroes, Nolan." It is a rejection of Nolan's entire identity. He isn't a hero anymore. He is just a man with a lot of blood on his hands. As Nolan flies away, Art literally collapses from the stress of the encounter. It shows that while Nolan might be looking for a fresh start, his victims are still living with the trauma he caused. Enter Tech Jacket. We finally get the introduction of Tech Jacket, played by Zoe Deutsch. The show makes a major change from the comics here, gender-bending the character into Zoe Thompson. She is a teenager with an alien suit of armor and a swearing intolerant dad voiced by Bobby Moynihan. We see her fighting a massive electrical villain, and it's a breath of fresh air. Her suit is ingenious. Later, we even see it turn into a small ship that clings to a Viltrumite vessel like a remora. Alan the alien, voiced by Seth Rogen, recruits her for the war because her suit is one of the few things in the galaxy that can actually hurt a Viltrumite. Her dynamic with Alan is already a highlight, especially when they decide to just play video games while hiding on an enemy ship. The Last Supper. Before the brothers head into space, Debbie insists on one thing: a family meal. This is the "Give Us a Moment" the title refers to. With Eve and Paul over for dinner, the Graysons try to pretend they are a normal family for an hour. It's set to the song Clementine by Sarah Jaffe, and it is easily the most affecting montage of the season. You see Debbie's resignation. She knows she is likely sending her sons, Mark and Oliver, off to their deaths. Oliver is furious that Omni-Man didn't even say hello to him, but he is determined to join the fight. He tells Mark he has just as much to lose, especially since his birth mother died because of the Viltrumites. 2 weeks in space. Once they leave Earth, the atmosphere changes. Cecil and the GDA are monitoring from the ground, and Cecil notes a haunting fact. For the first time in 20 years, there are no Viltrumites on Earth. In space, the group spends 2 weeks getting to know each other on the ship. Nolan is still brooding over Debbie, and Alan tries to talk him through it. It seems like Alan is the only one willing to see the good in Nolan, mostly because he wasn't there for the massacre in Chicago. But the peace is shattered when the ship is attacked and explodes, splitting the vessel in half with Omni-Man and Oliver on one side and the bridge taking off with Telia. The Arrival of Conquest. This is the moment comic fans have been dreading and waiting for. Out of the wreckage, 3 Viltrumites appear, led by the behemoth known as Conquest, voiced by Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Conquest is pure malice. He immediately moves to crush Oliver's skull, but Mark intercepts him. The scale of this battle is massive. While Alan and Tech Jacket fight the 3rd Viltrumite, Mark and Conquest crash onto a nearby planet. This isn't a choreographed superhero fight. It is a desperate, ugly struggle for survival. The brutality of Mark versus Conquest. If you thought the Omni-Man versus Mark fight in Season 1 was bad, this is worse. They are putting a beating on each other that defies logic. Mark is holding on with everything he has. At one point, Mark actually bites off Conquest's fingers. In retaliation, Conquest punches through Mark's stomach and pulls his intestines out. Most characters would be dead instantly, but Mark never lets go. He uses his last bit of strength to suffocate Conquest, refusing to let him draw a single breath. It is a slow, agonizing death for the Viltrumite. When it's over, Mark collapses in a pool of his own blood and organs. The cliffhanger. The episode ends on a note of pure uncertainty. Nolan and Oliver find Mark in the dirt, disemboweled and unconscious. Meanwhile, Thaddeus tells Telia that it is time for the Coalition to go to war. The Viltrumites are searching for Alan and Tech Jacket, unaware that they are hiding on their own ship playing video games. The screen cuts to black with Mark's fate in the balance. We know Mark has appeared in promotional images for the rest of the season, but seeing him with his guts strewn everywhere makes you wonder exactly how he survives this. Give Us a Moment is a masterpiece because it balances 2 extremes. It gives us the best writing the show has seen in years with the Debbie and Nolan confrontation, and then it delivers the most gruesome battle in the franchise's history. It shows that Mark is no longer just a kid trying to do the right thing. He is a soldier who will do the vile things necessary to protect his family. The emotional weight of Sandra Oh's performance paired with the visceral horror of the Conquest fight makes this the best episode since the Season 1 finale. It calls back to the trauma of the past while plunging us into a very dark future. Does Nolan actually deserve a second chance? Or is Debbie right that his redemption is just a fiction he's telling himself? Drop your take in the comments. That is our breakdown of Invincible Season 4 Episode 5. If this helped you process that insane ending, hit the like button and subscribe to Review. We have more Viltrumite war coverage coming your way soon. See you in the next one.